Well, welcome back to Assen. We caught up with Paul Woodhead to ask him exactly what a passenger's job involves.
A lot of people think sidecar racing as a passenger is part of going over the back wheel for right-handers and keeping the sidecar wheel on the ground for left-handers. But actually it's a lot more technical than that. I'll explain. During right-hand corners, like a solo motorbike, leans, depending on the degree of the corner, it depends on how much the solo bike leans. For a sidecar passenger, that really dictates how far the sidecar passenger gets his weight over the back wheel. So for a slight right-hand kink, the sidecar passenger will just put a little bit of weight on the back wheel, like so. The tighter the corner, like a solo, you lean the bike over more. The sidecar passenger has to get further and further and further until sort of maximum right hand will be like this. But it doesn't actually finish there. At the same time, you have to look down the side of the bike and watch what the front of the bike's actually doing. And if the front is starting to understeer, you have to get further forward like this and try and get as much weight forward as you possibly can to try and help get weight on the front wheel to stop it understeering. And then the same, if the back wheel oversteers or the back wheel starts to wheel spin, you need to get further back like that to try and get as much weight on the back wheel as possible. So while the driver and the bike's travelling at speed, you're sort of doing all of this to try and keep the bike stable. So it's quite technical over the right hand side of the bike, and just the same when you come up to a left hand corner when you move left. It's not just a case of keeping the sidecar wheel on the floor. Like the back, like going on right hand corners, it's about balancing the bike properly. So you get the sidecar wheel just off the floor, and then you move slightly this way and that way to control that so it stays the same. If you get it wrong and you put too much weight out here, it takes too much weight off the back wheel, therefore the bike will tend to slide this way. And obviously if you get too much weight over here, the chair wheel will be too far in the air, so the driver will have to close the throttle. Also, in a straight line, when the bike's going in the straight forward position, you like this and you keep out the wind. And also when the driver hits the brakes, you have to stay here in this position as long as possible. If you get off this position too early, it takes the weight off the wheel, and because under braking all the weight of the bike is transferred onto the front wheel. So all this weight will become light. So if you actually get off it like that, it will lock the wheel up. And at that time, if he turns into a corner at that time when the wheel's locked up, the bike will spin. So being a sidecar passenger isn't just about going right and left, it's a lot more technical than that.